Ryan Reynolds makes hilariously good case why Disney classics like Bambi should be rated R. Disney Plus recently announced it will add some R-rated movies to the streaming service for the first time, including Deadpool, which I haven't seen, Deadpool 2, I haven't seen it, and Logan. Previously, the service only featured films rated PG-13 and below. Ryan Reynolds, the star of Deadpool, announced the addition of the films on Twitter, but he also joked that some of Disney's classic animated films that are G-rated should earn an R rating for, quote, irreversible trauma, including Snow White, Old Yeller, The Lion King, and Bambi. He called out Snow White because he's pretty sure that the diamonds aren't, quote, cruelty-free, and for borderline polyandry between Snow White and the dwarves. Old Yeller deserves an R rating for the, quote, ugly cry-inducing straight-up murder of the titular dog. Spoiler alert. And Bambi should be reconsidered for the, quote, cold-blooded killing of an innocent deer mom. Also, spoiler alert. I guess you're supposed to say spoiler alert before.
I think you are, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I didn't go to
him.
broadcasting school like you did. Okay.
So that's you saying spoiler alert, not him.
Correct.
Yeah, Todd, get it together.
Finally,
spoiler alert comes first.
Says that The Lion King, spoiler alert, should receive a harder rating because of, quote, fratricide and mauling.
But I've got notes for everyone involved here. You messed up the spoiler alerts, but these are old movies. And then to Ryan Reynolds, I would say it's the rule of 3. So he's got 3 solid ones, but lose the Snow White one because that joke's not that strong. I mean, it's okay, but also like the other 3, those I get what he's saying, and that's emotionally resonant. Whereas Snow White, it doesn't make sense that it would get an R rating. Ryan Reynolds, get your act together.
Wow. Alison Rosen, humorist, explains why things are funny and why things are not funny. I'm going to see you at a panel at the Paley Center sitting next to Dick Cavett and Dick Gregory.
That's me. Between two dicks.
It's your new podcast.
Yeah, Between Two Dicks.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Between Two Dicks. Dick Gregory, Dick Cavett, and everybody's best friend, Alison Rosen. And now we're going to talk about the film career of Fatty Arbuckle,
who I recently learned how he died. It's pretty tragic. Wait, no, that's not. Oh, sorry. I am completely mixing up my overweight people from a long time ago. I'm thinking of the overweight little rascal. That's a tragic story from a long time ago. Do you know that story?
Way off topic, but how did he die?
He underwent some very early version of weight loss surgery. And then I don't know what happened, but like it went horribly wrong and he died. Is my understanding of it. Do your own research, people. It was but it was some tragic thing where he was like made fun of, on screen for his weight. Oh. But from what I read, what I took from it was like clearly he did not want to be overweight. He wanted to be of average weight. So he underwent this surgery, and then it didn't go well because they had not perfected any of that yet. I don't know. It was very tragic to me. Fatty Arbuckle, he's the one who had the whole scandal, right?
Allegedly murdered a woman. Yeah.
Anyway,
Alison.
Okay, let's get back to what we were talking about.
We're talking about Disney movies that were traumatizing. Ryan Reynolds made some questionable jokes about it, according to Alison, the arbiter of comedy. Here.
Sorry.
So Alison, made some jokes about it, trying to get a Mark Twain award or something. And so then I was asking Alison if, these films, though, are like traumatizing. There are ones that I mentioned in the piece, like Pinocchio, when he starts turning into a donkey and the ears come out.
Alarming.
Like, that's frightening. Bambi's mom, when she gets it from an AR-15, that's terrible. So, are there any Disney films that traumatized you, Alison Rosen?
Yes. Okay. There was a movie called The Great Mouse Detective. Is that what it was called? The Great Mouse Detective? Have you heard of this movie?
Yeah, later they called it Basil of Baker Street, I think. It has
Yeah.
like two titles. I remember seeing it in the theater when I was a kid.
Okay, so I remember watching it at school. It was like they would bring in the projector, and I think it was the kind of thing where they brought in the projector and we all sat on the ground and watched it, and it was like projected against a wall, or maybe they like brought in the the TV set on a VCR, they like on that trolley cart thing. But I just remember didn't they kidnap the daughter of some prominent cat or something? I don't know, but was there torture involved in it? There was something very dark about it, and I found it very disturbing. And I know that later I went and looked it up. I feel like there was something like sadistic or torturous. There was some whole plot about it, or there was someone kidnapped, or I don't know. There was something very dark about it, and I was like, "What was that?" And I went and looked it up, thinking that I would read how it was just like what a misfire that movie was, but instead it got really good reviews. But I know that I found it very upsetting. Do you remember anything about it?
I don't remember it being necessarily upsetting, but I remember around the same time they made the Black Cauldron, which I think they said it was so dark that they had to chop out like 15 minutes of it because there's all these like demonic sequences in it.
Right.
It was in this whole period where Disney was like, let's do some really dark crap.
Yeah.
And like everything they put out had elements of that. I don't know if it was just dumb luck or it was strategy. Because I was thinking of when I was a kid and I saw a movie that actually I really love, but it is a severely jacked up movie, Return to Oz.
That is so dark.
Yeah, like the movie begins with, kids, everybody went in going to, oh, it's a sequel to The Wizard of Oz, which is like a happy, joy film. There's dark stuff, got flying monkeys and whatnot. And then a witch, but so scary. But Dorothy in the beginning, played by Fairuza Balk. First of all, you're like, wait, she's not 16. She's like 8. And she's getting shock therapy in Kansas because she can't stop talking about Oz because she has like PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
And she winds up in Oz. The Emerald City has been taken over by evil. And like all the happy people of Emerald City are like frozen in concrete. And then there are no munchkins to be found. It was like there was some kind of like munchkin genocide, and like there was like a mass grave somewhere, by the Deadly Desert or something. Like there are no munchkins. And then Dorothy gets kidnapped by a headless witch named Mombi, who has all these heads that she has in a cabinet, and she like picks up other heads and puts them on her neck. Just scary. And then like a rock king tries to turn Dorothy into a knickknack, and it's like it's a very dark film. It's very well made actually, but it's like, talk about like misfire and like not what anybody wanted or expected, but it's unique in its own way.
Even E.T., which is a class that's not Disney, but a classic. I was young and saw that in the theater, and that scared me. I was too young when I saw that.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
And also another one that from Disney was The Black Hole. You ever see The Black Hole?
I don't think I saw that. I don't think I saw that one.
So it's like Disney like put the movie out because of Star Wars. So like, this will be our Star Wars. And it's like, who's going to star? Anthony Perkins, Norman Bates.
Family-friendly Anthony Perkins.
And Ernest Borgnine. And Robert Forster from Jackie Brown, who is as cool as they come, really. And he's like the Han Solo kind of guy. But and the film is like these people, they find a ghost ship run by zombies that's getting ready to go into a black hole. Anthony Perkins gets ran through by like this evil robot that has a razor, big blades on his hand. Geez. It just runs through his chest.
Oh my gosh.
Killing him. And then at the end, it has this whole like psychedelic sequence where they go through the black hole. Spoiler alert. And the good guys go through like heaven, and the bad guys go to hell.
Oh wow.
And like the evil robot sits on a hill like in hell overlooking like these like zombies that worship her, like cult members, like people who have the Allison Rosen weekend getaways.
Okay.
And
That is a fun weekend. There's nothing problematic about it. They get together and meet each other and they talk about how much they like my show. Okay, Todd? Okay.